Hey everybody, welcome to this presentation. My name is Brett Hitchcock and I hope you're going to have a blast with me. Just a little bit of background on what this is all about. We want to welcome you to the 6 questions that can make you millions. Now, how do I know this can make you millions? Well, I learnt this information from a couple of different sources and I've actually applied it in my businesses over the last 20 years or so. And I've literally made a fortune out of it. So I know that what I'm teaching you here works, and I know that some pretty eloquent and amazing businesses have used this. I learnt this information from 2 guys. One is a guy called Chet Holmes and another guy called Tony Robbins. Now, this is not really a repeat of what they're teaching. It's more so a representation of how I've used their information. Chet Holmes is a consultant to many Fortune 500 companies. And Tony Robbins, well, you probably know him as one of the best motivational speakers in the world. Chet, I had training with Chet about 20 years ago. And now you may be thinking, 20 years ago, how can this still be relevant? Well, the thing is about marketing and sales is that nothing really changes as far as these basics are concerned. We're going to be talking a lot about market research, and the basis of market research is never really changed. And anybody who tells you any different is really probably not knowing what they're talking about too much. As I said, I've used this in practical situations, so you can be rest assured that I have made a lot of money out of these particular tasks. And when I take on anything new, I always revert back to this. So without any further ado, let's go and get into the 6 questions that can make you millions. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to find a profitable niche. Now, I'm here to stop all the bullcrap, basically, about all this. There's a lot of really shallow information about this. A lot of people don't put enough effort into finding and detecting their profitable niche. As we go on with the questions, you'll see how deep we go with this. A lot of people find this boring, including me, to be honest with you, but it is such a necessary part of your business. It's something that let me give you an example. If you go to build a house without a frame, there's going to be no house. You know, you're not going to get very far without a frame, whether it be wood, steel, mud brick, whatever you're doing. If you don't build a frame or some sort of structure for that house, you're not going to be able to put a roof on it. You're not going to have rooms. You're not going to have any of those things. And that's the way I see this. If you do not take these steps and you don't do this properly, you've really got very little chance of having a profitable business. So let's stop the crap. Let's put some work into our businesses. Let's focus on this stuff, and let's get you making money. That's the main thing about this. So let's go on. So finding a profitable niche is actually not that hard. I mean, you've probably heard a lot of stuff around with evergreen niches. There's a lot of information out there, and a lot of it's really great. So I suggest you look into some information on learning about profitable niches. With all the free resources that are available to you, it's actually quite easy to find one. But you'll see in this presentation there's a few very specific things that you need to look at when you're looking for your niche. So before I dig into how to find that niche, we really need to sit down and ask ourselves some simple but sometimes challenging questions. Now, I mentioned Tony Robbins before. Part of his training is about asking questions, and not the easy ones. You've got to ask yourself some of the hard questions, and you'll see how this goes as we go along. You'll see what I mean as we go along. So he says that if you want to know the answers to anything, you've got to ask the right questions. I mean, it seems simple, doesn't it? But a lot of us avoid this stuff, and I really challenge you to sit down with yourself and do this process. So let's move on. Okay, now remember this. To attract anything in this life, you must really know yourself and your customer. Now, I do a dating course out there for men, and I do another thing for women in a similar way. And obviously, to get clear on what you want in a partner, you must know something about the characteristics you want, the physical appearances you want, especially for the guys. They seem to focus on that for some crazy reason. But you want to know that they're compatible, they have certain personality traits that you want, their interests are pretty similar, and if not, you need to know yourself well enough to be able to move through those things. It's the same in marketing a product to anybody out there. You must really know what people are thinking, how they're feeling, and most importantly, what they're going to be attracted to when it comes to buying your product or service. The only way to build know, like, and trust in this industry is to know yourself and your customer. So, one of the most important questions you need to ask yourself is, this is question number 1, what do I have a serious passion for in my life? And I underline the word serious for a very good reason. Because if you're not serious about this passion, there is no way you're going to get up every day and want to do this. We'll talk about this a bit later. Now, you've probably seen or heard of this question before. This is nothing new to you. But the way I'm putting this across to you hopefully will shed some light on why this question is so important. It is the driving force behind everything you do in your business. So spend some time, become real about this, and I promise you, you'll never look back. Now, I have a few ways for me to get really clear on how I can find a real passion. We can have many passions. There's not just one. If you're a multifaceted person like myself, I have passions for a lot of things. I'm a musician. I love marketing. I love Chinese medicine and acupuncture. I love Feng Shui, which is the art of placement in houses. I love anything to do with whole foods, organic foods. I have a lot of facets to me, and it's just a matter of sitting down and relaxing and understanding yourself a little bit more. So this is where it gets a little bit challenging for some of us, because some of us don't like to slow down. You know, some of us just overthink everything. And for you to get really clear in your life, you need to have that relaxed mind for things to come through. I don't want to get too deep or too spiritual or anything with you, because that's not what we're here for. We're here to get really clear. So what I want you to do is I want you to find a quiet place for you to relax, where you can slow down your mind. Now, I personally use nature a lot for this process. Like, I sit down and actually meditate. You don't have to meditate. You just need to get quiet and slow your mind down. So you might just find a quiet place in your house, like a room that's not too cluttered, not too, that has a nice ambience to it. Now, this may seem a bit out there for you, but I assure you, if you've done this kind of thing, if you've ever had great ideas in your life, I guarantee you that you have relaxed enough to the point where those ideas have come through for you. Now, you don't have to be a spiritual master to do this. You just need to become fully focused on the task at hand. Every single person on this planet, I believe, is capable of this. Now, if you don't have a place, in your house, maybe go to a park or a waterfall, or, as I said, even just a tidy room where you can stop all distractions, slow down your mind, become quiet, and reflect. Very important part of this process. So, I've just said that the most important part of this whole process. This is where the foundations are built. This is where your structure of your house, your frame of your house is built. And this is where you'll come up with your original idea, because your business needs some serious inertia. A lot of people I've heard describe business as like launching a space shuttle. Now, the first part of launching a space shuttle is actually quite hard. And to get it off the ground, all that weight and all that, all the weight against gravity. That's why they use so much fuel and so much power to get it off the Earth. Once they get up further into the atmosphere and even into space, they don't actually need that much energy. And it's a great analogy for business, because when you first start in your business, it needs some really serious focus and a lot of serious effort to get it going and get people to know what you're about. Once you get it going and things are flowing, things become quite easy. And this is where I think a lot of you get stuck. You don't realize that you actually have to put work into this stuff. There's so many things out there, and there's some simple processes to make little bits of money online, and they're great if you want to just focus on that stuff. But if you're sitting there right now wondering, why don't I have the income that, say, Brett Hitchcock has? Well, that's the answer. It's as simple as that. You need to follow through. You need to get something that is actually larger than what you're thinking right now. So I hope that makes sense. So ask yourself, what could you do that you would do every day without giving up? Now, this is a really important question. What would you get up without fail? If you'd had a big night, if you'd had a late night, if you'd had, if you're a bit down on life, what would you do that would help you become happy and become focused on all the tasks that you need to do? What would you do without fail? Now, what I tell a lot of people to do is look at your interests and hobbies since your childhood. Now, of course, finger painting and all those little things that we used to do as kids, colouring in, all that kind of stuff. I don't know really how you'd make money out of that, although I'm sure there's people who have. But I'm talking about little things that excited you as a child. We all, especially the guys, we wanted to be firemen, and the ladies probably wanted to be teachers or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your actual heartfelt interests here. As I mentioned before, mine are music, health, and natural medicines and things like that. So, and I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to be a doctor, and for me personally, no offense to anybody, but I didn't find the Western medical system that exciting once I became an adult. So I had to work out what being a doctor actually meant to me. And so I found acupuncture, and the rest is history. So that's just a little example of how my hobbies or interests in my childhood have actually changed into an adult concept. So I really want you to, when you're sitting down relaxing, and this is why it's important to sit down relaxing, because you actually need to feel into what really excites you. I really want you to have an aha moment, I really want you to go, wow, I never thought of it like that. Okay, I really can do something. I really can help some people here. I really can get passionate about that. That's what I want you to find. Find something that you absolutely love. I mean, something that you'll keep pursuing till you succeed. I know I'm going over this again, but most people don't fail. They just give up before anything good happens. Did you know that Walt Disney actually went bankrupt 7 times before he was able to create Disneyland as we know it today? Now think about that for a moment. Most of us, if we've been bankrupt, and fortunately I haven't, but I know a lot of people who go bankrupt for very simple reasons. Imagine you going bankrupt 7 times and not giving up on your dream. I mean, that takes some pretty serious passion. He obviously knew to the core of his being what he really wanted to do and what he wanted to create. It's a vision, for him. Now, I need you to get really clear on this, because this is where life gets exciting. You don't work when you're like this, you really don't. It's so easy to, do some CPA marketing or some affiliate marketing and, oh yeah, I made $50 or $100 today. But I tell you what, it's so much more exciting when the money isn't there. The money isn't even a consideration. It's about getting your message out to people and really, really focusing in on helping the people in the market. Now, he just didn't give up, quite obviously, because Disneyland now is one of the world's most successful companies in many facets as well. I bet you he had the idea just to maybe have a theme park. I don't know the history, but you know what Disney represents these days. So it's a massive, massive company. So I hope you see my point there. Now, as I said before, if you want a successful business, you need to find something that you can wake up to every day with a positive and motivated outlook. Am I right? I'm sure you understand this. This is basic stuff. I'm sure you've read books that have said this. I'm sure you've seen people that are really passionate and really gung-ho about what they're doing, and they're not stopping for any reason. So it doesn't make sense that you need to choose a niche you'll be happy and excited to promote. Don't you think that message will come through in everything you write and say? If you're doing videos, you can't be, this is really exciting. You can't be like that. If you want to get people excited about what you're excited about, you need to be excited. So I know it seems crazy and simple, but this is really, really important. So I want you to look back on your life and imagine the days where you might have a day job now and you get up and you just don't feel like going to work. A lot of the problem with that is that you don't like your work. So if that's the case, you need to stop that or make plans to move out of that. I don't say anybody quit their job because that's just a silly idea. But make plans that say in 6 months or 12 months or 2 years or whatever your situation is, make a plan to get out of that situation, because a toxic working environment is just not worth it. We're not here for long enough to worry about these things. We need to find our passion and get it out there. And people need you. That's the other thing. People need you. They need to know what you're passionate about. You are the only person who can do what you can do on this planet. You are unique. You are the only person who can put it across the way you can put it across, and that is a fact. Every single one of us, I truly believe, has something unique to give the world. Now, chosen correctly, your passion will override any negative feelings or health problems, or to a point, I'll say, that you may have. Now, I'm just trying to get your mindset right here. If you've never enjoyed your work, it's very hard to understand this. But I have woken up every day for the past 25 years and been excited every single day to do my work. In fact, I don't even call it work, because it's fun. It's great fun to do something you're passionate with. So, now a good way to check in on your choices is, if your answer does not inspire you to work every day, well, you haven't found it. You haven't felt deep enough into yourself, or you're just not looking hard and you're not trying hard enough with this. You need to find what it is you are actually passionate about. And for some people, this is going to be challenging, as I said before. I've coached a lot of people over the last 20 years, and there are some people out there who goes, I really don't know what it is. And it's taken them quite considerable time to relax enough to actually find out what it is. So if the answer does not inspire you to work every day, you have not found what it is you're looking for. And I tell you, you're better off spending a bit more time slowing your mind down, getting into a nice peaceful space to get real about this, than going for something that, that'll do. No, nothing will just do, because this is your life, and this is very important that you actually put out who you are. Now, keep searching until the niche you choose provides a level of commitment that is absolutely unshakable in you. Richard Branson, when he goes for his projects. I'm sure you know about Richard Branson. He's the Virgin Empire king. He is a passionate man. And when he goes into a project, he makes sure that it's absolutely unshakable. His commitment, his focus, his vision will see it through right till the end. So spend the time to soul search yourself and choose the right niche for yourself. Now, the next video I want to cover is about these hungry markets and what it means for you. So looking forward to sharing that with you.